All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host, Chuck Stevenson. So, Invicta FC 56 is going to go down on Friday, August 9th in Denver, Colorado. It is headlined by a bantamweight bout between Jennifer Maya and Myra Cantuaria, which Jennifer Maya is back in Invicta FC after getting, or I believe her contract ran out with UFC and they decided not to renew. So she wasn't like released. Almost said she was released. She is back in Invicta, where she was the flyweight champion previously. She's moving up to bantamweight for her first bout back, which is interesting. They are at a new venue in Denver. This one is further north, I believe, in the city from where they were originally. They're going to be at the Stockyards Event Center. I believe it's like around where like they hold rodeos and stuff. So the card has 8 bouts total. No title fights on this card, unfortunately, but hey, you can't have a title fight on every card, especially now that they have an increased schedule. But looking through it, there are some good bouts on here, or bouts that should be good, and they've signed some good veterans for this card as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, we're not going to go too in depth on these bouts. This is just going to be a fairly quick video, go like an intro to all of the fighters. So starting all the way down in the first bout is going to be a strawweight bout. Ashley Barrett taking on Amber Medina. Both of these fighters are making their pro debut. Let's see here. Barrett is 23 years old. Amber Medina is 32. No other real stats listed for Medina on Tapology. Looks like Barrett has a nice winning streak at in her amateur bouts. There we go. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, five fight winning streak in the amateurs. Medina's coming in off of 2 straight wins, both via knockout or technical knockout in the amateurs. So that bodes well too. Looks like and Barrett is coming off of 2 straight submission wins in her most recent bouts, so this should make for a fun one. The last card, the debutantes, really brought it and showed a level beyond what you would typically expect for fighters making their pro debuts. So let's hope that the trend continues with these 2 as well. Then we have a featherweight bout. So didn't have any featherweight bouts the last card. We've got 2 of them on this bout, or this card. So this is going to be Ali Pellegrini making her pro debut, taking on Marissa Mo Ellis, coming in at 1-1. The only stats that Tapology lists for Pellegrini is that she is super tall, 5 feet 11 inches, 180 centimeters. Compare that to 5 feet 6 inches, 168 centimeters listed for Marissa Ellis. Ellis is coming in off of a submission loss 4.5 months ago. Before that, she won her pro debut via KO TKO. That was a year and 10 months ago. So we've got a debutante taking on someone with a little bit more experience. And wow, 5 feet 11. That's tall. That is tall. That's going to be interesting. Then we move all the way down to the opposite end of the spectrum, atomweight. Ailid Zubieta taking on Juliana Pajea. Zubieta coming in at 3-2. Most recently fought 2.5 months ago for, looks like it's called High Fight League, but has fought several times for Budo Sento Championship, which you can find on Fight Pass. Coming off of a win, but then 2 straight losses before that. Now she took, looks like 2 years off between her last fight and the fight before that. Bahia coming in at 1-0. She's coming in off of a ground and pound TKO win 3.5 months ago. Looks like she'll be the taller fighter at 5'3", 160 centimeters to 5 foot even, 152 centimeters for Zubieta. I could have sworn Zubieta had fought for Combate, but looks like I was wrong. Maybe I was watching that. Maybe. I'm not sure. I could swear I knew her from somewhere else besides Budo Sento, but I guess not. Pereira? Is it Pereira? Pereira coming in. She's fought for Shudo Brazil, which is definitely one of the better promotions down there in Rio. So always looking forward to atomweight bouts. Speaking of atomweights, so we've got 2 straight atomweight bouts in a row. This is the fight I might be most looking forward to on the card here. Flor Hernandez coming in at 4-1, taking on Ana Palacios coming in at 8-3-1. Campeon Hernandez coming in off of a loss a year and 2 months ago to Lily Fajeda. Lily fought on the last Invicta card. Picked up a decision win over Katie Saul. That was for Hernandez's last opponent. She dropped a decision to her. Before that was riding 4 straight wins. Palacios just fought a little over a month ago, picking up a submission win over the undefeated Melissa Gomez. Before that, she had dropped 2 straight. Let's see. She's 26. I don't have an age for Hernandez. Big height difference here. 5'2", 157 centimeters for Hernandez. Palacios is listed at either. I've seen it. Tapology has her at 4'8", 142 centimeters. I've also seen her listed at 4'9". Really looking forward to Palacios making her Invicta debut. This is a good signing for them. She has a very exciting grappling style. Really can't wait to see her in Invicta. Her versus Saori Oshima would be like a submission fan's dream fight because they both have very aggressive styles. They're always going for limbs or chokes. I hope that fight eventually gets made. But for right now, I'm looking forward to seeing how Palacios and Hernandez do against each other. I can't wait. Then we move up to flyweight, where Kate Bosick takes on Paula Cristina, the Queen of the South, Kate Bosick, the English woman, coming in at 4-1. Bittencourt, the Bellator veteran, coming in at 6-2. Bosick lost her pro debut all the way back in 2022. Since then, she has won 4 straight. Most recently defeated Larissa Carvalho via decision. That was at Palace Athena 3 back in March of earlier this year. Bittencourt coming in off of a loss in her only Bellator bout. That was a year and 2 months ago, so she's going to need to shake off some rust in this bout. Bittencourt is the younger fighter, 29 to 31 for Kate Bosick. Bosick is the taller fighter, 5'7", 170 centimeters to 5'4", 162 centimeters for Christina Bittencourt. So Bosick comes out of the Great Britain top team, which is run by One Punch, Brad Pickett. They have fighters such as Olga Rubin, who just fought for the Invicta Bantamweight title. Claire Lopez, who's fought for Combate Global, and Ryzen and Chanel Dyer, who is competing in the PFL Europe flyweight competition. So GBTT, bringing in more ladies to Invicta. It's a great partnership, I think. So looking forward to her Invicta debut. And, Paula Christina, she had a tall order taking on Denise Kielholtz in her Bellator debut. Looking forward to seeing what else she can bring in Invicta. Because, making your Bellator debut and having to fight Denise Kielholtz, that's a tall order. Not really fair to her. Fighting out of Nova União, who I believe, let me see. Who was the other girl? Juliana Pereira. I believe she's fighting out of Nova União too. That's a very well-known gym in Brazil. Then we move back up to featherweight. Kelly Ottoni coming in undefeated at 5-0, taking on PFL veteran Jackie the Hybrid Cataline, coming in at 4-3. So Ottoni made her debut back in 2021 and 5 wins, 3 finishes, 1 submission, and 2 KOs. That's a nice record to start off your career at featherweight. Cataline coming in off of a win in Bellator 9 months ago. Before that, had 2 straight losses to Evelyn Martins in PFL, and then dropped a TKO to Taylor Guardado a year ago. These ladies do not have a lot of time left in their career, most likely. Cataline is the younger fighter at 36, which is weird to say, because Ottoni is 39 years old. So she started when she was 35. That's a late time to be starting MMA. About average height, there's only like an inch difference. 5'7" for Ottoni, 5'6" for Cataline. This should be a good one. Jackie Cataline, she also has a win in, what do you call that? Slap fight, I believe. So both ladies can bring the power to this. Hopefully we get to see a nice knockout or technical knockout in this one. Then we have the co-main event at strawweight. Former Invicta strawweight champion Valeska Tina Black Machado taking on Yulia Ostroverkova. So Tina Black coming in at 13-4. Ostroverkova coming in at 9-2-1. Machado coming in off of a TKO win over Taylor Malden, or that was a knockout win 4 months ago for Uriah Faber's promotion. Before that, had dropped the title via decision to Danny McCormick. That was like a year and 4 months ago. Ostroverkova is coming in off of a submission loss in a Russian promotion, MFP. That's it stands for like Far East Modern Pancration or something. Has fought all of her fights, looks like, in Russia or in that Russo sphere. And looking at the names, they're all, like Russian type names. So this is her first time outside of Europe and Asia fighting. Before that loss, she had a split decision win and then a draw. So she's had a mixed record lately, which is interesting. She is the elder fighter at 35-29 for Valeska Machado. They're the same height, 5 feet 4 inches, 163 centimeters. So I've heard the name Yulia Ostroverkova before because it's hard to pronounce. So I definitely recognize it. But I'm going to have to go back and watch some of her fights. A lot of finishes. She, in her first 6 wins, she only had 1 decision. Last 3 wins all come, or last 3 wins all come by decision, though. She has slowed down. Tina Black was on a bit of a decision streak for a while. Got handed basically a layup against Taylor Malden in her last fight. Managed to get into a finish there. But we'll see if she can get on a nice finish streak against the Russian fighter. We shall see. Man, a lot of Brazilians on this card. Speaking of Brazilians, the main event has two of them. Jennifer Maia taking on Mayra Cantuaria at bantamweight. Maia coming in at 21-10-1. Cantuaria less experienced at 10-5-1. Let's see. Maia's coming in off of a loss in her last bout in the UFC. That was 9 months ago to Viviane Araújo. Before that, had won 2 straight over Marina Moroz and Casey O'Neill. Cantuaria is coming in off of a submission win over Kaylee Cutler in Invicta a year and 4 months ago. Before that, had dropped 2 straight losses. But so neither lady has fought recently, but Maia should be less rusty. They're the same age, 35 years old. Cantuaria is the taller fighter at 5'7", 170 centimeters to 5'4", 163 centimeters for Maia. So Maia has the experience in this, but man, she has a lot of mileage and a lot of wear and tear as well coming into this fight. Whereas Cantuaria coming in, she's going to be coming in rusty, over a year since her last fight. Had a couple of losses before that. I don't know why this is at bantamweight, because they've all fought their careers at flyweight. That's weird. I mean, Cantuaria has some fights at bantamweight mixed in, but for the most part has been a flyweight. Her last fight was at bantamweight, though, in Invicta. Maybe as they got older, they're just tired of cutting weight. I mean, Maia's been pretty much a career flyweight as well. I can't remember. When was the last time she fought anywhere above flyweight? Let me see. She fought as a bantamweight back in 2015. Had a catchweight bout before that, and then before that was flyweight. So outside of like 2 incursions above that, she's been a flyweight for years, for well over a decade. So maybe both ladies just decided, this isn't for a title, but it could get them to a title with a good performance. The Invicta flyweight title is, I believe, vacant right now. But the bantamweight title does have a champion. So maybe they figured they'd rather challenge a sitting champion and fight for a vacant title. I don't know. It's maybe, or like I said, maybe they just decided we don't feel like cutting a lot of weight for this fight, because, we're both 35 years old. Could be any number of reasons. But looking forward to this one. It's nice to see Jennifer Maia fall back to Invicta after her stint in the UFC, which saw her go all the way to a title shot where she won a round off of Valentina Shevchenko. And before that, no other flyweight had done that well against her. So she'll always have that. And she is the former Invicta flyweight champion as well. So she does have some decent career highlights. Cantuaria is an experienced fighter, 16 fights, but not as experienced as Maia. Doesn't have the names on a record that Maia has, but still could be looking to get there. So we shall see. I believe Cantuaria was the Pancrase champ at one point? No. No, although she has a win over former Pancrase champ Takeo Hashi. But that was not for a title, it seems. Interesting. So yeah, we'll we'll see what each of these ladies brings to this main event. So there you have it. That's the full lineup for Invicta 56. Goes down Friday, August 9th in Denver, Colorado. You can watch it on CBS Sports Network in the U.S. Anywhere else, check InvictaFC.com closer to the fight. Let me know your thoughts on the card in the comments below. If you like the vid, hit that thumbs up button. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.